Happy Saturday. I'm excited to bring to you Season 1, Episode 1 of PHINS Football Podcast for your latest Dolphins updates and predictions. Please like and subscribe. Before we get started, I want to do a quick introduction of myself and explain the purpose of this channel. Then we can jump right into my Miami Dolphins 2024 season win and loss prediction. But first, who is bTrill? Well, my real name is Trill. I grew up a Miami Dolphins fan, died hard. I grew up in the backyard of Buffalo Bills. Basically, I live in Rochester, New York, and it is the home of Buffalo Bills training camp each year. We are an hour away from Buffalo. I went to my first NFL game as a 12-year-old kid. I was dressed head to toe in my Miami Dolphins gear with my merino jersey on, and I had my aqua face paint and my orange face paint, and I was walked in fearlessly into the bitter cold Ralph Wilson Stadium to cheer on my team. Well, that's when I learned what the gauntlet is and what it means to be behind enemy lines. That's where Bills fans of all ages love to yell, curse, and throw items at you. Even give you the one finger salute, as I had a whole school bus of kids drive by and actually flip me the bird. But anyways, over the past 30 years, I've been able to at least make it to one game, usually in Buffalo. But when I lived in Vegas, I would actually go out to LA to catch a couple games. But I've never been to Miami until now. Finally, I will be going to Miami in less than 30 days, the countdown. I will be seeing Monday night game against the Tennessee Titans on September 30th. I'm beyond excited. This is my dream I've been waiting for. Finally go to the home stadium, not behind enemy lines. But speaking of dreams, the reason I am doing this podcast is because I live and breathe the Miami Dolphins. Unfortunately, my football playing career did not continue after I went to high school, as I was just undersized and just didn't have the talent. But my heart never left the game. I'm always eager to know every stat, every play, know all the updates with the Miami Dolphins. I'm that guy that watches the last minute of the final preseason game. I'm that guy that does hours of watching highlight reels about the player we just drafted or got in free agency or through the draft. I've been doing the research. I might as well go ahead and share my knowledge. I've always enjoyed other podcasts for the Miami Dolphins, like my favorite Dougie Do Wrong, Kyle Krabs with Locked On, Chat Sports, Fins Up, many, many more. I just love to stay updated. Bleacher Report, NFL Network, ESPN, X, Twitter. Whatever I can do to get my research and share my knowledge for, who knows, just a coworker chatting up sports. But now I get to do it with the podcast. But one last thing before I jump into my predictions. This is going to be my first video disclosure. So I just want to let you know, I'm not an expert. I'm not a GM. I'm not a coach. I don't have secret sources with the players. I'm not an ex-NFL player. I don't know every formation, every terminology, but I'm a diehard fan. As a diehard fan, I may have a strong opinion, but I'm going to share the facts, the stats, and then my opinion. But if you also have a strong opinion and disagree with me, just remember I'm doing this for fun. I'm just going to say kindly, please choose another channel. I don't have time for that. But enough about me. Let's get into the Miami Dolphins 2024 schedule. Here, let me go ahead and pull it up for you. Please keep in mind, as I go through these games, that I am biased. I am a Miami Dolphins fan, but I do understand every given Sunday, and upsets happen all the time. First, Miami kicks off the 2024 season versus Jacksonville. I think they're going to be a sleeper this year, but there's no way Miami can start 0-1 against Trevor Lawrence at home. Hopefully, we force them to wear the black jerseys and leave them to roast in the sun. But speaking of roast, let's jump into week 2. Week 2, we stay at home. We welcome home the rival Buffalo Bills. And we know that they don't like our sidelines in September. So I'm going to go ahead and cue Nelly. hot in here. But let's continue the home field advantage and win on Thursday Night Football, national stage, beat those rival Buffalo Bills. Start off 0-2, or 2-0. Week 3, we go on our first road game, longest flight of the year. We head out to Seattle, take on the Seahawks. So DK Metcalf, he is a dominant player, but hopefully Ramsey can lock him up and keep him in check. I think we win a close one in Seattle, go 3-0. Week 4, the game I cannot wait for because I'm actually going to be in attendance against the Tennessee Titans for Monday night. Last year they knocked us out of first place. They knocked us out of a potential first round bye. While I love to keep blaming Bradley Chubb, I think we get our revenge game here. I think we have a huge win. I think just like we did with Denver last year, I'm not saying 70 points, but I'm saying at least a 20 or 30 point win. We got this. There we go. Starting off 4-0. Week 5, Patriots. Rookie quarterback, rookie coach. It's a W. Need I say more? I understand division rivals, but let's head into the bye week 5-0 in first place. Week 7, we have the Indianapolis Colts. I just think Anthony Richardson is another Justin Fields. I think he has more legs than he does have arm. So I'm going to go ahead and chalk this up as another win. Now, going home against Arizona Cardinals. This one, they have a lot of young talent. Week 8, I think, as a Buckeyes fan, I love Marvin Harrison Jr. Trey Benson is a heck of a running back. I think they will surprise a lot of people with the young talent. I think they're going to be doing a lot better than they did the previous couple years. But I think Miami will win that game. I think Miami's offense is just too strong. But I know, 7-0. You're like, he's too biased. I'm going to turn this. No. They're not going undefeated. They're not going to repeat history. I wish. This is where Week 8 comes in at Buffalo. Week 9. Week 9 at Buffalo, our first loss. Again, I grew up going to Buffalo every single year. Miami just cannot win in Buffalo. It doesn't matter if there's snow, if it's cold. We just can't win. It's that Bills Mafia. It's that home field advantage that they have, and they're loud. They come to represent, and they do have the best tailgate in the NFL. But enough of that. 7-1, can't win them all. Let's head to Week 10. Of course, after a tough loss, we have another road trip all the way out to L.A. to the West Coast to face on the L.A. Rams. I believe Miami will have enough to beat out McVay's offense with Cooper Kupp and Puka. I think we will go ahead and go 8-1 against to start off the season. Week 11, we come back home to Las Vegas. I don't think Zamir White and Devontae Adams will have enough to beat Miami. I think Miami wins big here, going 9-1. Week 12, home to the Patriots. I think it's a bigger win because now we're home. So 10-1. Need I say more? 10-1. Now, Thanksgiving. Lambeau. We do not do good on holidays in Lambeau. Lambeau will be Thanksgiving Thursday night. I think it will be a huge test. This will be the playoff atmosphere, intense game. I think it will be a cold, snowy game in Lambeau. I know it's early November, but still maybe a little cold. Miami has not won those cold games late in the season. I think it will be a close loss. I think we'll have a costly fumble or a late interception late in the game. Miami just hasn't proven to win in the cold and win late. But speaking of Green Bay, Week 14, Aaron Rodgers. I think we go home to the Jets and bounce back and beat that Ron and the Jets. I know tough defense, but I think it'll be a really high-scoring game, even with the tough defenses. We win that one, go 11-2. Week 15. This is going to be my surprise game. This is at Houston versus Houston. I think Houston is the surprise team of the year. I think they end up being one of the top teams in the AFC. I think they win the South. I think they give Miami a run for the money at the top seed. And this one hurts. I think we lose in Houston. I think Houston puts it together. C.J. Stroud is just an animal. They picked up Diggs, but they already had Nico Collins, who's just underrated. Tank Dell is up on the rise. He is phenomenal. But, yep, lose that game. Then week 16, I think we come home against San Fran. Mike McDonald's old team. He always struggles, and I think he'll continue to struggle. I think the 49ers are the best team in the NFC. The defense is just too tough, and I think CMC will go off. I think Miami loses their first game at home, and also all year back-to-back games to go 11-4. Week 17, I think we take all of our frustrations out on the Browns. Sunday Night Football, another cold, possibly snowy game. But this one is Miami's time to rewrite that narrative about winning in the cold, about winning late in the season. Miami has a huge game. I think we run for over 300 yards. We got the three-headed monster. I think Mostert, Achane, and Wright. We're going 12-4. 12-4 into the last game of the season. With that, Week 18, New York Jets. This is going to be flex. This is in New York. This will not only be for the AFC East title, but this will also be for first place in the AFC and potential a third snow game for Miami. Miami again leans on the running game. I think we win a nail-biter in overtime to win the AFC East. AFC East champs. First round bye. Into the playoffs. Home game. For the playoff, I'm going. If we have a home game for the playoffs, I'm going. But I think we end the season 13-4. Miami has a 9-1 start, but the last 7 games we only go 4-3. It's a tough road at the end. Let's see how Miami survives. But I think this is our year. I think honestly, we win the Super Bowl. I think right now we have the number 1 voted player with Tyreek Hill. They locked up Tua. They locked up Waddle. They locked up McDaniels for the next few years. We have vets like Ramsey, Poyer, Calais Campbell, all to get our youngsters moving right. We still got Phillips. We still got Holland. We have weapons to win it. We're the fastest team in the NFL. Now we have the 3-headed backfield with Wright. Come on. I think that gets us through those cold games and gets us through those tough wins. Right now, our biggest weaknesses are the trenches, our interior O-line, our interior D-line. But if we play fast enough, we might be able to overcome it. So, thank you. If you're actually still watching this video at this point, you stuck through it. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of Fins Up Football. I will conclude this now. Please understand everything is under construction. We have my office, my setup, my mic, my equipment, my logo, my intro. Everything's under construction. Any feedback, input, suggestions, I'm open to it all. Just send me a comment. I'll put my email in the description. You can send me an email if you want to keep it more private. I'm open to anything. Just let me know. I'm starting this off. First episode. I'm going to make mistakes. Not an expert, but I'm here to share my knowledge. Again, thank you again for tuning in. Fins Up Football podcast. And until next time, Fins Up family.